Hey everyone, it's Dot, and we are going to be doing a first here on this channel. We're going to make some Asian food. We're actually going to be making a scallop stir fry, and I've already started prepping my vegetables, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I'm going to be using a small zucchini, so I'm just going to chop off the ends, and then I'm going to actually, instead of, you can certainly just chop them up, chop up the zucchini if you like. I'm actually going to make noodles out of it instead. Now, for this stir fry, I'm not using cauliflower for like a rice effect. Instead, I'm going to just use these noodles instead because I'm sort of in a mood for zucchini this time around. It is summer. And to make these, if you don't have a spiralizer, which you can certainly use to make noodles, you can just use one of these little handy tools. You want to make sure, if you can see right here, you can see the seeds, or I'm just above the seed level. You don't want any of the seeds. It just doesn't add any flavor when you're cooking. So at that point, just rotate it around and keep going until, again, you come up across more seeds. The next thing I'm adding are snow peas. I love snow peas, but I don't really get to use them a whole lot because peas do have a lot of sugar in them. What you want to do is this top part of the pea you want to remove. It's basically the string of it, and it's very fibrous and chewy, and trust me, the first time you try eating one of these, you end up pulling it out of your mouth. It's just not very nice. What I'm going to do is just snap and pull, but I'm going to snap and pull over here too to get a little bit more of that. Hopefully you saw that. Our next ingredient is a bok choy. It's a cabbage, a Chinese cabbage, and all I'm going to do is cut off the ends, and I'm going to basically, you'll see it, it's just sort of a bunch of nice leafy greens, which they're very tasty in stir fry. I have to wash this, but before I wash it, just to let you know, when you're chopping it up, you want to separate out the whites from the leafy greens. And the reason why you want to do that is because these are much tougher than the greens. So when you're putting your food into your stir fry, when you're cooking, you want the vegetables that are the most rugged to go in first because it's going to take more heat to break them down. For example, the shredded zucchini I'm using, it's very wobbly. There isn't a whole lot of heft to it. This is going to go in sort of as a second phase when I'm doing my stir fry, just the last 2 minutes. However, the whites of the bok choy are going to get the full heat of the stir fry. All right, I have my scallops out, but before I wash them, I wanted to show you something I do to prepare them. And if you can see on here, there's a little bit of a muscle right about there, if you can see that. You want that off. It's very, very chewy. And the nice thing about with the scallops is you should be able just to peel that right off, which is what I'm doing right here. This one's on a little tough. You don't want to tear apart the scallop as I just did, but you want to be able just to peel it right off. So if I've got this one, oh, that was a cheat. That one was almost off. But basically, you get the idea. You should be able just to peel them off pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking out the little tough muscle on each of these. I'm going to wash these in cold water and then pat them dry with paper towels. You want to treat them gently. You don't want them falling apart on you. All right, I have my pan on a heat right now. There's no oil in it. I want the pan hot before I do put my oil in it. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and season my scallops. They've already been washed and rinsed, grit is out, and I'm gonna just use simple salt and pepper. And don't worry about over seasoning them because once they hit the pan, it'll go in the overall dish itself and it'll be tasty. All right, I've added my olive oil. My pan, I let it heat over a medium-high heat for about a minute. So I just put in my olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and add in a tablespoon of my sesame oil, and I'm going to let both oils heat up for about 30 seconds. As you can see, I'm not using a wok. You don't have to use a wok. Don't worry about it. Okay, it's heated up, so I'm going to go ahead and just add my scallops. I'm going to add them. I want that sizzle on the scallops. I'm just adding my extra seasoning, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my bok choy, and I have my red pepper. There's some of them are pretty thick, so I'm going to go ahead and add them with the bok choy. And all I'm doing, I'm going to cook this for about 2 minutes. At that point, I'll flip the scallops over, and then I'm going to add in the rest of my ingredients. What I'm doing now is I'm turning over the scallops. I got a nice brown color on them, on the bottoms, which is what I wanted. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead, I'm going to add in my squash, my bok choy leaves, snow peas, onions, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon. Now you can use soy sauce if you'd like, I use a soy sauce substitute, which is just coconut amino. It tastes just like soy sauce. I'm using a tablespoon, but it is a bit carby, on the carby side. So you just have to watch that. I'm also going to add some shaved garlic that I decided to add in, and a pinch of red pepper, just for some added heat. Now, your scallops are done when they're at a temperature of about 115 degrees on the inside. Now, when you take them out, they should still cook from the heat. 130, but 120, 130 is when they're absolutely done. So I'm just going to check to see where I'm at with my scallops. And for this big one, I am actually at 109 roughly. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them in for about another minute or so. The last thing you're going to do is sprinkle sesame seeds right on top, and it will look amazing. Wow. Ooh, that was a little nice heat right there at the very end. I got a bit of the red pepper, but it was awesome. Tastes great. Has a little subtle flavor of the coconut amino, which is soy, which I really like, but the sesame oil is really nicely in there too. And I really do miss going out to Chinese restaurants with my husband, or going out for Korean, or going out for Japanese. And there is a way to be able to do Asian foods at home, even though there's a lot of sugars, a lot of sweeteners in them. You definitely can make it at home and make it low carb and healthy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, subscribe, definitely share with your friends. And until next time, I'll see ya.